Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today I am very excited because we are doing, finally, for the first time ever on video, readings with the Alpha Beta runes. What are the Alpha Beta runes, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. The alphabet. Yes, indeed. Many, many years ago, I jokingly said to a friend, you know, the Elder Futhark is an alphabet, basically, and I read the Elder Futhark. I bet any alphabet could be used for divination purposes if you just track down what the original meanings were. Many years passed in which I sporadically looked into this. And finally, recently, I said, you know, I really should finish that because it's a hoot. So I did, and I made a set of Alpha Beta runes, and I put it in a zebra bag because that is for zebra. So, so why did I make runes when I could have just gotten a Scrabble set? Because I'm crazy. But anyway, we're going to read them, and it's very exciting. And I'm going to basically, so first of all, I'm going to show you, we're using the Aquarian deck, tarot deck. You're going to pick a card from here. One of these is going to have a message for you with which I will use the Alpha Beta runes to relay, which is going to be a fun experiment. I have done readings with them. I've done readings with them throughout the week, and it's they work really well and they're really neat. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. One of these has a reading for you. And so card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4. Which one of these has a reading for you? It's going to be a general reading, whatever you need to know the most right now, because I hadn't had the chance to think of a theme. So we're just going to go with these general readings. Whatever you need to know most right now is going to come through. That'll give the Alpha Beta runes the chance to just stretch and do whatever they want anyway. So there we go. I will put the timestamps in the descriptions, as well as a timestamp for the next thing that I'm going to record, which is going to be me walking you through the Alpha Beta runes, such as they are. So this is going to be fun, and I will, once again, feel into the cards. One of these has a reading for you that the Alpha Beta runes will help with. And I will see you at the reading. Bye! Hello, welcome to the Alpha Beta runes. So this is very exciting. I actually had to turn the thingy down a bit so you could see them because they're white. So, yes, I made these. Hooray. So anyway, it's the alphabet. You probably know the alphabet. But do you? So the problem with tracking down, some of them were very obvious, A is ox, D is door. You know, some of them, some of them were very clear, you look up letter origin for them and they tell you immediately, you know, this is what this was, O was an I. You know, it's just very, very simple. But some of them, like our friends F, U, V, W, and Y, are based on the same origin letters. So you kind of have to decide what they're going to mean. So in those cases where a secondary meaning has come up, I have taken that. Where there have been multiple meanings, I've sort of tried to divide them unless a secondary meaning has come up, like in the case of Y. But other than that, and then there's other ones where they have things that have multiple meanings that mean the same thing. Like, for example, this one meant fish, and another one, there were a number of them meant fish. They can't all mean fish. So I had to decide which one I was going to make mean fish. So we can play a bit around with the alphabet because it's late game. If I was doing the early Phoenician letters, then I would have a very clear this means this, this means this. This is these have sort of taken on qualities over many, 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 many centuries, and sort of some of them lost their original meanings and sounds and placements and things. So we're basically doing the alphabet, which I'm calling in terms of use as divination, the Alpha Beta runes. So let's just quickly do a rundown. A is ox. It's not just ox, though. It's ox as in oxen. It's not like uruus, where it's the wild ox. This is oxen. So it's not only strength, but it's also, food source, and also the idea of tamedness, domestication. B is a house or the floor plan of a house. C is a throwing stick, like a hunting stick. So it's basically the idea of casting something away to get something back, but also hunter comes into it. D is a door, specifically a tent door. But it's a door, so for all of those connotations. E is a latticed window and or somebody praising, somebody with their arms up praising. So that kind of thing. Like, so prayer will come into it, praise, gratitude, that kind of thing. F is one of those notorious letters that come from the same source. So it's basically, you get a hook, a peg, a spear. There's like a number of things. So I just sort of allocated them. So F gets hook because it looks the most like a hook for my usage. G is interesting. G is a camel, but it's also nurture, and it really comes down to something that has been brought up to go a long period of time without needing to suckle, whether that's milk or water, or any other form of nourishment, which is what this is going to come into, just like that sort of discipline sort of thing, endurance. H is a fence. I is a closed hand. So all that implies where like you're either refusing something or it's like a hand closed in perhaps, a fist. J is an arm. So it's like arms, how you can help out, what you can offer, that kind of thing. Like I'm not using weapon because we've got weapons in here. But like arms, like what you can do with your arms. So helping, embracing, that kind of thing. K is an open hand. So receiving, receiving, greeting, taking in. L is a goad, like an ox goad. So something that you would use to prod something, like to make, like, or to like cause something to move forward, something you goad something on with. M is water, waves of water. N is a serpent. This is the other one that was going to be a fish, but it's basically, we already have a fish. So I'm going with the hieroglyphic influence where it's a serpent or an eel. So something elusive, unique, mysterious, slithery. O is an eye. P is a mouth. Q is a ball of wool or a monkey. So it's something that's like a tangle, some troublesome, tricky, twisty tangle. R is a head. And all that implies, like the, thinking and the head and get your head about you and where your head is at. S is teeth. T is a mark. So it's like you like your mark. So your signature or your mark, you leave your mark. U, another one of those tricky letters with lots of meanings. So I allocated peg to U. So it's connections, but also a later meaning was vessel. So peg is its first meaning, like in terms of connections and making sure, like affixing something somewhere, but also there's a vessel element. So we'll see if that comes into it. V is a spear, but specifically a spear that it's a weapon. So you've got your spear, but also something that you can swear on. So a promise or an oath also comes into V. W is a mace. So it's like a bludgeon. So it's like brutality, roughness, just like mashing something into the ground kind of thing. X is where I put the fish. So it's fish, it's nourishment, but it's also riches and like treasures and wealth. Values, prosperity, that kind of thing. Y is a choice, where the roads diverge. This is another one where it was part of that F and V and U and W group. So a later meaning was where the roads diverge, so it's a choice. And Z is a sword or an axe, so it's something sharp. It has to do with sharpness, but also something that can cut, something that can cleave, split. There may be an element of violence to it, but it's also just basically something that it's like severs things. It cuts. So it will cut. So there we go, the Alpha Beta runes. I'm very excited to use them in readings. Let's get on with it. See you at the readings. Bye. Hello, card number 1, people. So let's see what it is that you need to know the most right now according to the card and the Alpha Beta runes. Just checking one thing. Okay, cool. Let's turn this and see what we've got. 3 of Swords. Okay, so card number 1, people, you're dealing with... It's kind of difficult for you right now because there's a bit of heartbreak involved, and it has to involve with things not moving forward the way that you want to. Like there's been some delays. Things are being delayed, but there's also just that element of heartbreak happening. whether it has to do with a delay or something that has basically, swords through the heart, basically. So let's get some Alpha Beta runes and get some clarification on this. Alpha Beta runes. Let's see what we get. What does card number 1 need to know about this 3 of Swords, which I'm very sorry to see? Yes. Okay, so there's been a severing that has happened. Things were there was strength leading up to this. And anyway, let's lay down the whole reading and then go from there. Ooh, interesting. Okay, interesting. Okay, so central issue here is represented by Z or Z if you're American. Z is the axe or the sword, and this has to do with cutting, something sharp, sharpness, cutting, severing. Something has been severed, something has been cut, and you are now grieving this. Leading up to this, I'm actually going to read this not so much as strength as a domestication kind of thing. So this may have been something involving the home that you are grieving the loss of, whether it's a person or something to do with the domestication, like so your tame home state of things, and also source of nourishment in the world, not necessarily food, but just like something that was, something led up to this where there were that was going on. You had your sense of domesticity has been severed at this point. Leading up to this, or it could be just, honestly, I'm using the term domestic. It may have been a domestic thing that happened that caused a severance. So it could be like a relationship has ended, perhaps. I want to be very gentle with this because I'm on the one hand very excited about finally reading the Alpha Beta runes, but on the other hand, I'm really sorry to hear this because this is really sad. So, what will help you? We have D. I'm feeling for like runic names, but it's actually literally the alphabet. D reversed. So D is the door. It's sort of like it's reversed. So it's sort of, you want to have some closure. You want to like close that door. Maybe there's a lot coming in at you right now and you need to just basically close that door to shut out the din of it. And so you can sort of turn inward and open up the inner doors and find your way that way through this situation. And I do see a few other reversals in here that are indicating that that's really going to help you a lot. So yeah, close the door on what needs to be closed off from you for the moment, because that's what is going to help you the most with whatever this was that was sharp and cutting that has caused you grief. What is not going to help you is you're going to feel like there's a temptation here for you to go, well, other people have had to go through this and they just go on with things. And so I should just push myself to go on with things and I don't need this. It's like you have clearly needed this because this was a source of not only strength, but also a source of life nourishment for you coming up until this point. So it was something that was very important to you. And so you are going to have to deal with, you're worried about it, but it's something that you are dealing with because you have to. You're learning to swim because you've just been dropped in the water. So so don't beat yourself up that you're not currently able to just walk off because you have a heart in your body and that heart is hurting. So don't beat yourself up on that. You could drag yourself down by comparing yourself to other people who seemingly have just walked off this sort of wound. You don't know. They may have gone through like the same amount of pain and suffering that you are going through, and they're just dealing with it in different ways. You need to deal with this in your way, and the way that you're going to deal with this is go back up to D reversed. You're just going to basically gently shut the door and turn inward and say, okay, I'm opening my inner doors. I'm going to explore this. I'm going to deal with this because I need to deal with this myself, not how somebody else is telling me I should do it. So your next step is you're going to be a bit closed off. Like you're going to be going forward. And this is important. This is based on that. You have to be, because this is how you're going to process this. So we have I, which is, of course, the closed hand. You're going to be a bit closed off. You're not going to be very receptive, which is, part of the process of this, where you're grieving. So this is your next step, basically, at this point. Like right now, you seem to be right at this point where this is happening. And like, this is still very, very painful. And so again, I'm really, really sorry that you have to go through this. But yeah, just basically turn inward, close the door on the din, and start working on that. And don't beat yourself up because you're not conforming to the way that people are saying, oh, you should deal with it this way. It's like everybody deals with this their own way. So your next step is you're going to be a bit closed off. You're going to be just sort of, with yourself. And what you're really going to be finding, we've got the door and we've got the window. What is going to help you is finding gratitude within. We have E, which is the lattice window, and also praising. So it's like gratitude, but it's inner. This is all going to be turned inner. When we lose somebody or something, and both can be equally painful, there's that part of the grieving process is finding where we ended and that began, and sort of just cauterizing and finding whatever we need within ourselves to replace that, which is unfortunate, but unfortunately necessary. So again, we're still turned inward. This is what's going to help us. We're looking in with our inner window, and we're looking for what we have that we can celebrate, that we can praise, and that we can be grateful for internally. So we're sort of reminding ourselves that we aren't completely bereft. We are suffering loss, and that we are grieving, and we have lost something extremely important to us. However, there are things that we still carry within us that can bring us comfort. We're not completely out in the cold. We have within us things that we can use. What isn't going to help us is, so this is C reverse. C is the hunting stick that you cast out and to get something back. But this is internal. So this is like, you're not, how do I put this? First of all, you don't like the idea of sacrifice. I think the Bluey has the things like, I don't want a life lesson, I want an ice cream, because she lost her ice cream. So it's basically you're sort of feeling like that. It's like, I don't want a life lesson, I want what I lost. So Bluey's awesome. If you haven't watched Bluey, no matter what age you are, please freaking watch Bluey, because oh my God. Anyway. Okay, so what isn't going to help you at this next step, where you're going to be a bit closed off because you're sort of internalizing things and you're processing things, is what isn't going to help you is the fact that you're just very upset about that. You're just like, I don't want to have lost something. It's not worth it to me that I am learning things. Yes, of course I'm learning things, but that's not. I'm not happy about it. You don't want to have lost something to learn something. You don't want to have to lose something to gain something. And also, there's an element of hunting always with C, so it's internal hunting kind of thing. And it's like, don't go through your internal world destroying everything that has to do. Don't like chip what you've lost out of the wall. Like, that's not going to help you. Find it, celebrate it, honor it, praise it. That's what is going to help you, E reversed. And what this is going to lead you to is you are going to be able to open that hand again. Once you've gone through this process for a bit, and I don't know how long these steps are going to take, they're going to take as long as they take. But once you've gone through it, then you'll be able to open your hand again and be receptive to, actually, no, you know what, this is internal. So you will be more receptive to what's going on internally. I mean, probably externally as well, but not quite yet. After you've gone through the period of time where you're closed off a bit, and you discover that honoring and praising what has been is better than chipping it out of your life, hunting it down and destroying it, definitely focus on the honor, praise, and gratitude. Then you will be ready to be more open to what you're experiencing internally, and that will help you continue to go through it. So once again, I'm really, really sorry that you're going through this. This is really, really hard. Whatever aspect of your life this is in, and for whatever it is, whatever it is that has caused this. But there is hope. Just keep going. Grief isn't something that you can just overpower. Grief is something that you grow around until it is small enough to be manageable. So it's just life, So there you go. That is your reading for card number 1. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. So we're going to start with a card from the Aquarian Tarot, which you picked at the beginning of the video, and we're going to turn it, and we have the Ace of Cups. So definitely you are starting something, it's like something that is just bursting into being that has to do with the Ace of Cups, which is emotion, creation, all this lovely watery stuff that the Ace of Cups is. So you are starting something really exciting that has to do with this, and it's just lighting up your life. It's very, very exciting. So let's get some runes down to clarify this Ace of Cups. And the runes we are using are the Alpha Beta runes, literally the alphabet. So that's fun. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Let's go with that. Oops, I'm going to lay down the whole reading, and we're going to go from there. That's N, right? Yes. Okay, good. Whee! And finally, okie dokie. So our central issue for this Ace of Cups that you have in your life that is very exciting, this new beginning that has to do with creation and emotion and all those good things, is R. So R is the head. So it's really, you've got this new headspace going on. And it's very exciting for you. So you're very much, I would say as far as creativity goes, there's a lot of head involved. So maybe this is something communicative. Maybe this is something that is like philosophical or thinking. But it's, I don't think there's a heart in the Alpha Beta runes. But anyway, this is very head oriented. So something that you're imagining is something very much imagination involved. Very exciting. Leading up to this, it's your inner waters. So we have water, which is M. Maybe this is like something that's dream based, but either way, it's something that has come from within. It's something from your inner waters that your Ace of Cups has filled up and now is ready to burst forth into the world, and through something that you can now express because it's in your head and you're able to do that. U is, wow, you know what? I'm going to use immediately the vessel meaning for this because this is like water, water, water. I'm also going to bring in the peg, but U is definitely, U is the peg, but also it's the vessel. So in that we've got the vessels and the water all here. You're drawing on this, basically. You're drawing on, your inner waters. So your inner waters where it's like the imagination and dreams and all that intuition, lovely, beautiful, emotional stuff. I suppose that's heart. You could say that that's where the heart is as far as just like all the watery stuff. So here's the Ace of Cups that you're starting with. Here's the water that's in it, and here's your cup that you're using to draw it forth. So you're definitely, whatever it is that you're doing creatively, always return to this as your source. Always return to your inner waters as source, and you can't go wrong. What isn't going to help you is, I'm going to read this a couple ways. N, which is the snake or the eel. So it's something slithery and unique and elusive. So one, I'm going to read this as, don't worry if it's weird. You may be worried because it's weird. Please don't worry because it's weird. People need that. If it's different from what they have now on their plates, they're going to want it, that you're going to find somebody who's going to want to see it. Secondly, somebody with a vehicle that makes a lot of noise that has just gone by the open window because it's warm. Okay, so so don't worry about that if it's the case. Don't also worry if it feels elusive. Like if you get too much in your head, because like right now you're centered in your head. If you get too much in your head, all of this is going to feel a little bit elusive because you basically were just steeped in it and just immersed in all of this up until this point, which got you very, very excited and which is like, okay, it's bursting forth. Let's just get it down. As soon as you get too much in your head, you're going to lose track of it and it's going to feel elusive. And that could make you despair. Please don't, as always, if it starts to drag you down, bring yourself back to this, like immerse back in the pool. Get back in that pool and get more immersed in it and it's like soak for a bit. And then you're like, okay, I have it again. I'm back in the rhythms of the waters and they are ready to be expressed once more with your vessel. Now, to read the peg element of this, it's going to be about making connections and it's going to naturally form connections once you've dipped back into this beautiful pool of water. Your next step is, it's like, okay, so J is arms. AJ is like not arms like weapons, but arms like your arms. It's going to be whatever you can carry internally at a time. So arms are like whatever you can carry. It's like what you can what you can embrace and what you can carry. And this is, once again, it's reversed. So it's internal. Your next step is you're going to be bringing this stuff up in armloads from, the inner waters with your vessel. And you're going to be going in and just bringing it up in armloads. And that's going to be really exciting, but perhaps exhausting. And what is going to help you is we have why, which is the choice. So you're going to be making choices. You're going to have choices along the way. I'm going to actually clarify this a little bit because it's like, so we have choice, but that doesn't help me. Fish. Yes, so whatever you're bringing up in your armloads of the inner waters, the choice you're going to be making is the one that has the most fish. Meaning, when you're faced with a choice, if your head is in charge, you're going to be like, both of these are viable. But your heart is going to be looking at it going, yeah, but this one sparkles because there's fish in it. So that's really where your choice is going to be. Like when you have brought up an armload of delicious water from the inner source of inner waters, and you find yourself facing a choice, you're like, I don't know where to go with this. Look at your choices and then go, okay, but this one is shining and this one is resonating with my heart and this one is exciting and full of riches, and I'm going to go with that because that's my fish. It's like the page with the fish with the cup. Anyway, what won't help you is, first of all, I'm going to say don't edit it before it's out all the way. But I'll get to that. So you may want to just chew this up as it's coming out. We have the teeth and we have the sword and the axe. So that's not going to help you. Let this thing flow out. Right now you're in the stage of bringing armloads of it through from deep within. You're making choices about it, but you're not going to edit it. Let it all come through now. And the only editing you're going to be making is, okay, where do I go with this? I'm going to go with where the more riches are with it, where the more fish are, where it's sparkling more. But as far as really whittling it and editing it and just wrestling with it, that's going to kill it. Please don't do that. If you just really want to get your teeth into it and edit it, resist that, because that's not going to help you, and it's going to lead to severing it, and it's going to lead to Z, which is severing and cutting and sharpness, S, which is teeth. So that's not going to help you. What is going to help you is just be in the joy of it, bringing through the armloads of it from the deep inner waters and making your choices based on what is more delicious looking and what is more rich looking and what is sparkling more because it's got more fish. And what this is going to lead you to is we have G reversed. So G is the camel. It has to do with, I'm going to say inner discipline. So once you've got it through, that's when you're going to start to want to do the editing part. So you're going to start to do the inner discipline thing. You're going to just start to turn on that, where you're building up your inner, so you can go a long time without drawing on it. In fact, if you're just really, really richly doing this, it's not just inner discipline. It's going to be basically muscle memory training, except it's not your muscles, your actual muscles. It's your inner muscles. But you're training it so that inwardly you can go longer periods of time before going back for more. You can get more out of the waters that you're bringing, probably because the waters you're bringing up and the ones you're choosing are the ones with more fish in them. And that will mean that you won't have to go back as often for more. You can spend more time on the surface with what you have because you're going to be still feeling that feeling and just steeped in that feeling and soaking in it, and just you're going to be able to hold on to that more the more you go back. So you go back, and it's sort of like dying indigo. So the more you dye the indigo, the more indigo it becomes. The more you go back to these waters, the more you're going to be able to carry with you on you as well as in your arms. And you will be able to go longer periods of time without dipping into that. Although don't ever lose it entirely, because this is where your life comes from, and it's very exciting. So that, card number 2, people, is your reading with the Alpha Beta runes on whatever you need to know the most right now. So, hooray! I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. So card number 3, people, we're going to start with this card that you chose from the Aquarian Tarot deck, and we're going to turn it, and we have the 9 of Cups. So right now, you're in a situation where, one of the lines that I always remember for the 9 of Cups is 9 of Cups, is be careful what you wish for, because here you go. So things are very satisfying for you right now. You're in a situation where either you are feeling very satisfied, or you're hoping for this. You're sort of driving towards the situation where you are hoping for great satisfaction. But the fact that this is here means that there is a certain amount of this happening for you now, and that if you allow yourself to, you can just basically sink into that and go, yeah, you know what, I'm having it pretty good right now. So let's get some runes down to clarify on this. And the runes that we're using are the Alpha Beta runes, which is the lovely first time that I am using them, and it's very exciting. That's a W. I made it wiggly so that I could remember. Although, given the meanings, I probably should have made the M more wiggly, but I'm happy with the W being wiggly. So I'm going to throw down the whole reading, and we're going to go from there. That is a V. Had a moment where I was like, is that count as? It's sideways. It's like, no, we're not doing the Elder Futhark brain. We're doing Anglo-Saxon Futhark. No, we're not. We are doing the Alpha Beta runes today, which is very exciting. Your central issue with the Nine of Cups is B. B is the home, the house, and the plan of the house. So in that it's the plan of the house, maybe this is part of it. So you're sort of, either you have it very comfortable right now, and you're very gratified, and there's a lot of really good, satisfying stuff around you right now. You are having a very good feeling of home, a very good feeling of sanctuary and satisfaction and solace, and things are lined up and things are good and comfortable for you. But in that this is also the plan for a house, this could also be part of a plan. Like, this is something that you are planning so that you can have this. So that might also be in play. Either way, this is where you're at right now. You're thinking about very strongly your home situation where you are going to have around you everything that you need. What is going to help you is, we have A, which is, oh, sorry, I didn't talk about what led up to this. What led up to this is W. So you have finally, okay, so a couple things. You finally, first of all, gone easy on the world. You maybe used to be fairly rough-handed with the things around you. And now that you've sort of eased off, things have started coming together. Like now that I'm not forcing things, sorry, the W is the mace. So it's like the mace or the club where you're beating things up. But it's reversed on the path line. So it's almost like you stopped trying to force things, and things have started to flow, and now things are flowing, and you're like, wow, why didn't I do that before? Who knew? As well, though, you have really turned your discipline and your beating inwardly, where you're like, if I'm going to work on anything really, really hard, the only thing I have control over is myself. So if I'm going to try to make myself more disciplined, that's probably where my control lies, and then things are going to start to flow in. But mostly what I'm seeing is like you stopped forcing things, and like, oh my gosh, lo and behold, things are now flowing. And we're working on plans for home and your home situation. What is going to help you is we have A reversed. So A is the ox, and it's the oxen, it's the domestic oxen. So it's inward. So once again, you are domesticating yourself inwardly. You're bringing your mindset into home first, and that's where most of it is going to come from anyway. But it's about basically planning your home situation where things are very comfortable around you. But getting your mind there is a big step. So that's going to help. As well, taming your mind as well, because again, your mind was perhaps very much more angry and wanting to force things in the outside world, whereas now that you've been taming your mind, continuing to tame your mind is good. And also doing the inner work. Doing the inner work is definitely, because the oxen's all about hard work and strength and that kind of thing. So doing the inner work is really a big step in bringing this together for your home. What isn't going to help is we have L reversed. So L is the ox goad, and this is the ox. So at this point, we don't want to be, beating up the ox to do the work that is very natural. So it's like, now we're going to lay off. Like we worked inwardly and we laid off outwardly, but now we're going to be much more gentle with our inner ox by not using the inner goad. However, also, you're worried about not using the goad outwardly. This is like a flippity flip, but this is basically what isn't going to help is it's become a habit for you, like until you stopped, to just like try to force things all the time. It looks like you want to have control, but that wasn't helping you. And it was only when you stopped doing that that your home started to come together. So you're worried about not doing it. It's like a habit, but don't worry about that, because it wasn't helping, and stopping was what helped the most. So just let that inner ox do the inner work, and bring yourself into a home mindset where you're going to be able to accept this. Now, what your next step is going to be is, I almost jumped ahead. What your next step is going to be is, we have P, which is the mouth, and it's reversed, so inner. So mouth is communication, I would say. So inner communication, definitely keep in communication with that inner ox of yours, who is doing the inner work, and just keep that communication open. Keep communication with your inner voice happening. What is going to help you is make yourself a promise, make a deal with yourself that you're going to do this. Like, set yourself a goal and make yourself a goal. So we have the spear, which is a spear, but it's specifically that is sworn upon. So set yourself some goals, make yourself some agreements, decisions, plans, and goals, just like Gabo. But it's like, make an agreement with yourself, to listen to yourself, to carry on with the good work that you're doing, the good internal work that you're doing, and the good work that you're doing, getting things around you that are making you comfortable. What is not going to help is we have J reversed. So J is your arms, what you can embrace, what you can carry. Again, you're still dealing with the habit of, up until this point, you were a lot more about control. And so you're feeling like you miss that, and you kind of feel like, maybe I should be trying to do this more. It's like trying to let go of, you're worried about letting go of that. And also not embracing what you're doing now, because it's new, and it's a thing that it's like out of your comfort zone, except it's like out of your comfort zone into your comfort zone. So, so that's basically where that is. Once again, what will help is, if you're having trouble with this, set yourself some goals. Set yourself some goals that you can move forward with, and that will help you with this, and help you keep in touch with your inner voice and with your inner oxen, with whom you are being much more gentle nowadays. Your outcome rune is, we have K, which is the open hand, and it's reversed. So it's open inwardly. You're going to be much more willing to accept what's coming through inwardly, what the good work that your inner oxen is doing, and also your inner communication is saying. You're going to be much more open to that. You're going to be much more used to it. It is going to start to become comfort zone, and you'll be much more on your way to creating around you the solace, the sanctuary, the home that you were planning. So that, card number 3, people, is your reading of the Alpha Beta runes on whatever you need to know the most right now. There you go. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So we're going to start with turning over this card from the Aquarian Tarot deck and see what your question is. Once again, these are general readings, so whatever it is you most need to know right now. Card number 4, people, let's see. We have the King of Pentacles. So you are very much... somebody shrieked outside, but it didn't sound like a bad shriek. It sounded like somebody's playing tag with me shriek. So it's not a bad thing. It could be okay. Hopefully it's okay. Anyway, your card is the King of Pentacles. So you are very much focused on, I hear the kitty cat behind me, sort of directing things that have to do with very practical matters, abundance and attaining nourishment, and look at that ox behind him. It's awesome. So you're very much in charge of that. You're very much on top of that. You're seeing what needs to be done, and you're very good at getting it all in order. Let's get some runes down from the Alpha Beta runes and see if we can get some clarification on that. What do we need to know the most right now for card number 4, people? Ooh, good, good. Definitely good. Oh, wow. Okay, even better considering. I'm going to put down the whole reading, and then we're going to go from there. Hi, sweetie. This is Freya. She's just made a vocal cameo, and she's picking me on the butt. What are you doing? Yes, I know. Look at all the food in your bowl. Why don't you go and have some food, sweetie? It's okay. I'm doing this. I'm still here. Good kitty. Okay, so card number 4, people. Your central issue is represented by K, and K is the open hand. So you're very much ready to receive, and also it's like a giving and receiving thing. So your palm is open. You are ready to receive. You're ready to take in. You're very much focused on, and also just as far as the king goes here, it's practical things. So you're ready to receive all of this. What are you doing, kitty cat? Oh, okay, she's over there. She's with her toys. All is good. Leading up to this, you've been very fenced off. We have H, which is fences. It's a fence. So you've been very fenced off, but things weren't really working for you practically. So now you're in a situation where you're like, okay, I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up to what the abundance is in the world practically, and that can bring nourishment and plenty and money and things that the King of Pentacles, and grounding, all the good stuff, stepping outside of the fence and just really opening up to this because you're good with it. You're able to prioritize and be on top of that. What is going to help you is make plans inwardly. We have V, which is the spear. Specifically, it's a spear that you swear on. So it's basically, it's a promise, it's a agreement, it's a plan, it's goals that are set, but it is reversed. So it's internal. So you're making these agreements with yourself when you go out and do this. So you're not going to open yourself up too much. I mean, obviously you were behind fences for a reason. You were fenced off to protect yourself. So in order to do this, you're going to set yourself some boundaries. You're going to set yourself you're going to make some promises and with yourself and goals with yourself that are going to color this open hand so that you're not giving too much and that you're not exposing yourself to too much when you open out. What will not help you is we have J. J is the arms, like the arm or the arms. So it's like open arms. It's like open arms and you're going to like get overwhelmed, and then you're going to be right back behind the fence again because you've been overwhelmed and had too much taken from you. Yes, meow. Cat. So to prevent this is why you want to make some agreements with yourself before you go out. You're going to make some promises with yourself that you're not going to give too much, because I think you're very giving, because you want to help out, because you're very grounded and you're very giving, but you don't want to give too much with your open hands. So just make some agreements, set some boundaries, set some goals so that you're not just going out in open arms to embrace everything and to give to everybody. That will knock you right the heck out back behind your fence. So make some promises with yourself before you go out, and then you will be good. You'll be able to be with that. Your next step is we have S. S is teeth. So you will have on your foray seen a lot of things that you're going to okay, I'm going to read this a couple ways. First of all, you're going to see things you're going to want to get your teeth into. So get some nourishment out there. You're going to see specifically what you're going to want to do. But at the same time, there may be some aggression coming up. You may be encountering some things that make you grind your teeth, some things that make you like bare your teeth and be like, man, this is, wow. And this is like, again, like even if you've made some agreements with yourself, you may be encountering things while you're out, getting the necessary practical things in order and picking them up and stuff with your open hand. You may be seeing some things that make you bare your teeth. What is going to help you is know where to cut things off, know where to draw the line and sever things, and to divide things and split things. We have Z, or Z if you're American, which is the sword or the axe. So it's something that's basically stay sharp, first of all, but secondly, know when to draw the line, know when to cut things off, and that's going to help you. Don't be violent. Violence is not going to help you. I know that's one of the reads on Z sometimes, or Z, but you're already dealing with the bared teeth. So just basically be ready. I suppose be ready to defend yourself, but in general, the best thing is just like to cut it off and like walk away. Know when to cut it off. What won't help you is we have X, which is the fish. So it's nourishment. It's nourishment, treasure, wealth, good fortune, abundance. You may be feeling like, same with the J, like you may want to just keep taking because it's out there to be taken and it's like right there and you want to grab it, you want to have it, and you feel like you're always one step away from the next treasure. And so that's going to drag you down. It's like, even you're already angry. Just don't don't make it worse. So if you're always sort of pushing, like, I can't go home yet, I haven't gotten everything that I think I can probably get, you see how angry you're getting. There are things that are there to sink your teeth into, and it's very exciting. But if you're getting buffeted around by things and you feel like things are like getting to be too much, and you're like, grr, know when to cut things off and go back. That's just basically, and keep to your promises, but know when to cut things off. And you'll still be able to get your teeth into things, which is good. But know when to cut things off and make things. I'm just to clarify, I'm gonna throw down a top and the bottom one. An uber nether. Yeah, it's a choice. Yeah. Because part of you may be saying, it's like, I don't care, I can do it, I can endure this, I can take this a little bit longer if it means I'm going to find another fish. Yeah, but look how angry you already are getting while you're out there, so try not to do that. Bring yourself back up to, like, okay, know when to cut things off, because it is a choice. It reminds you that you do have a choice. We have G is the camel, endurance, and Y is the choice. So bring yourself back up to Z, which is like severance, like, know when to cut things off. It's an axe, it's a sword. And this will remind you that you do have a choice and you don't have to put up with it if things are making you angry. What all of this is going to lead you to is Q. I'm so happy Q showed up, because it delights me. Q is the ball of wool or the monkey. So it's a tricky, twisty, tangle that you get. It's a tangle that you can ponder over. So when you come back after this outing, where you're going out to sort of calmly and gently and with an eye to abundance, go out into the world with your hands open, to give and to take in the world. Once you come back, then you're like, okay, I've observed things, I've seen things I can sink my teeth into, I've also seen things that make me grind my teeth. When you come back, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle for you to work on. It's a tangle for you to untangle. It's like a perpetual, it's like, what Carolyn Casey calls you should call your trauma my beautiful, dangerous assignment. And this is basically going to be your beautiful, dangerous assignment. That, like, it's tricky. There are riches out there, but there's also things that make me grind my teeth. So how do we deal with this? How do I work with this? Can I work with this in a spirit of play? Can I work with this in a spirit of playfulness, where I can, dance, make it a dance, like make it play, make it a dance. So that, card number 4, people, is your reading for whatever you need to know the most right now with the Aquarian deck and the Alpha Beta runes. So I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.